What's up there, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rick. This is Fanfare for the Conscious, and on this day, the 2nd of November 2020, we've got our Lawful News Update. Let's dive in. So today we've got our Lawful News Update, all of the latest information about the amazing things that are going on in the world to overturn this system of tyranny. We're going to start off at the top with a bit of really good news, in that the political prisoner Mark James Sleigh has now been released from his unlawful incarceration. So Mark James Sleigh was incarcerated under Section 2 of the Mental Health Act, and this has come off the back of the Coronavirus Act, which allows only one physician, one medical professional, to make the recommendation of a Section 2 being carried out. Now, if you haven't seen or heard anything about this incident that's happened over the last 2 weeks or so, please go and check the link up above to see my previous video on the ordeal which Mark Sleigh has been subjected to. Now, he is actually back at home. It took 18 days, I believe, for him to be released, but he is at home now and he is recovering well. I've spoke to him briefly on Facebook, and I have arranged to, in the future, have a short interview with Mark whereby he can give us a little bit more information of exactly what has gone on. You can also head over to his Facebook page and check out the previous videos so you get an idea of the various incidents which happened surrounding this. Long story cut short, Mark went into Sutton Coldfield Police Station and informed them that the local MP needed to be arrested on counts of treason. He gave them a 2-week period in order to do this, and was then going to bring a constabulary of the people together in order to actually imprison the man. And it was off the back of that this mental health Section 2 was enacted. Once again, as I mentioned before, please go and check out that video on my channel for more information regarding that, and don't forget to subscribe if you do want to see that interview with Mark in the future. And the second thing is an amazing bit of news coming straight from America, and that is that Anna von Reitz has formally offered her international land recording service to the world. And this is absolutely amazing, because what it would do is provide a digital verification platform for the political status of land nationals, and this will allow for national services to be administered. The way you've got to think about it is, if we want to have our own constabularies and our own courts and our ability to refute the claims of the police forces, we do need a very simple system by which we can prove that we are British nationals and not United Kingdom citizens. It should be possible for anybody with the authority to check and make sure that our paperwork has been submitted and that we are no longer UK citizens. Should not take more than a minute or so, and it's absolutely amazing what this service has been able to offer. And what I would just like to do is hand you over to Anna right now so she can give you information from her side.
And I just wanted to say something, while it's on my mind, about the LRS system. The LRS system, just so everybody clearly, absolutely understands this, the LRS system is an international tool. It's an instrumentality for international publication. Land is international. So when you say a land recording system, you're talking about an international database and recording system that is far and above what the states need to be doing for themselves in terms of recording their membership of the assemblies and all of the state-related issues and data that needs to be collected and kept. So anyway, the LRS as a international system can do a wide range of things. It can do what I originally envisioned for it was not as a backup or international posting system for the state assemblies and for issuance of credentials, which is something it can do, but that was not, let's put it this way, that was not the vision for what the LRS is ultimately designed to be able to do. I mean, that's something it can do, but what it's really was envisioned for was for two things. And that was the publication of the land patents, to bring forward all the land patents so that people have the enjoyment of their private property. And also to be able to open it up, I guess you would say, a gateway to freedom for people all over the world.
Right, all other countries.
You know, think about how long and how horribly people in England, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, Japan, Canada, Australia have, you know, they've suffered as much and as long as we have. And they've had no recourse or redress. They've had no way to make a recording.
Right. The Queen shut down all the recording offices.
The Queen's government shut down all of the recording offices throughout Britain and denied the very existence of the land jurisdiction in Britain. And that means the soil jurisdiction, too, had no way to come forward and make any claims against the Crown.
Right.
So this was the most horrible and oppressive. It is so totally against the traditions of England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales that it can't even be adequately expressed. And yet this Queen's administration and the British Crown have done this in violation of the most basic constitutional and national rights of all these people. It's just an absolute shameful situation.
Yeah.
And so opening up the LRS gives them a way of publishing their claims to their land and their soil and their bodies and their DNA, and pushing back against this hideous monster of, you know, what would you call it? Corporate feudalism, colonialism on speed. Because they mean or meant to establish a world government under the auspices of the UN Corp and just use everybody. Just absolutely use everybody like we were sheep or cattle or goats and ready to be sacrificed and shorn and used as resources. Human resources. They like to talk about human resources. And remember, when they say human, they're talking about persons, not people.
Right.
If they talked about people the way they talk about persons, they're slaves, right?
Absolutely.
They're indentured servants. If they talked about people the way they talk about persons, it would be immediately apparent that they are engaged in crime. And I just want to really hammer this home to people today. We are talking about something that has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with economic status. It has nothing to do with nationality. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with crime. And all of this is being created, fostered, and implemented using nothing but garden variety bunco from back in the day.
Yeah.
It's all nothing but fraud and various kinds of fraud schemes.
Right.
Identity theft, impersonation, credit hacking, counterfeiting, bankruptcy fraud, probate fraud.
It's a worldwide criminal cartel.
It is. And unfortunately, we've been asleep at the wheel and they've gotten their foot in the door.
Next, we're going to come on to Michael O'Bernicia's sterling work with the private criminal prosecution against the MPs, and that prosecution is continuing apace. There are some amazing movements happening there, to the point where a top law firm has been secured, and the law firm taking the case has had that approval go all the way up to the level of the partners, which is very, very significant. Now, I don't have the names of the specific law firm involved. I'm sure I'll be able to provide you that information in due time. But for now, now, I can also let you know that there are an awful lot of whistleblowers coming forward, and there are rumours that numerous judges are reported to be very unhappy with the government. It would seem at this point that the rats are scattering, and they are very quickly starting to realise that the choice is between their puppet masters and the wrath of the people. Seems to me that the quicker they realise that this ship is sinking, the quicker they will step under our authority as the true people's government of the country. Further to this as well, Lord Sumption has also expressed some support, although with a given set of caveats, towards the private criminal prosecution that Michael Bernicia has put in place. Now, I have spoken personally to Michael on the phone, and he is actually in the process of speaking or trying to connect with Lord Sumption to put him in his place and let him know that despite the fact he believes that Parliament itself is sovereign, that it is provably not, and we are not going to be backing down on the points which he has raised and insisted that we do back down on in order to make this court case legitimate. So there is some possible movement there from people towards the top of the chain, and you can already see there's lots of MPs who are leaving their offices. What is very, very important now is that we give them the chance to redeem themselves by stepping into our jurisdiction, and this is where we're going to come on to the next important part of my news update today. So the next thing I want to give you some amazing information on is that our political status correction papers are now with the Universal Community Trust. PSC papers have been drafted based on the work done by the American States Assembly and the papers provided by Anna von Reitz. They've been edited to suit our current situations, and those drafts have been submitted via Michael Bernicia to the Universal Community Trust itself and the People's Union of Britain. Should be getting some information from the PUB in the very near future regarding the infrastructure that they have set up, and I'm very much looking forward to be able to share that course with you in the future. It seems to me that if I wish to be able to convince all of my wonderful viewers who are spending the time with me at the moment that there is actually a way out of it, that I need to be able to demonstrate that system myself. So again, please keep subscribed to the channel if you do want to have that information in the future. As soon as I have it available and I understand the infrastructure myself, then I will be able to give you guys a little bit more information on that. Now, the final thing I'm going to cover today in this Lawful News update is that I have been contacted by a wealthy business owner who is in preparation for some direct action. Now, he isn't just one businessman on his own, he is working and in contact with other wealthy business owners, and they are very, very keen to engage in some direct action. If there are any other business owners out there who are keen to do something practical with regards to resisting this tyranny, then please get in touch with me. I will put an email address in the links below. So what they are planning is a nationwide blockade of the M6 motorway. And although the source for this information does wish to remain anonymous at the moment, I am also capable of putting you in touch with that source. If you are one of these business owners, please give me a message in the email address in the link section below, and I will do my best to connect you to other people. What has become very, very clear to me at the moment is that there are lots and lots of entities who are all effectively trying to achieve the same thing, but by different methods. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you need to march, you need to protest, you need to raise awareness in person with big placards, if you wish to make a blockade happen, whatever it is that we wish to do with our own resources and our own energy, what is most important is that we are all flying a common flag. If we all come at this separately, from separate angles, with no unifying structure beneath which we all stand, then we will not look like a legitimate replacement for this corrupt and tyrannical government. Whatever it is that you wish to do, we need to bring this all under a single umbrella of the People's Union of Britain, and that here is my goal. Please don't think I am trying to write off any action that any individual is getting engaged in. I implore and celebrate anybody who is willing to do these things, who's willing to take actual positive action. But again, the importance is giving that some kind of legitimacy. And that legitimacy comes from an organisational structure which can be easily demonstrated to anybody who wishes to get involved. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. If you did like this content and would like to see more just like it, don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up and the notification bell set to all. Make sure you will always be kept up to date when my videos are dropped on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 PM UK time. If you do want to get involved with being part of the lawful people's assemblies, gatherings and conventions which are here to replace the corrupt UK government system and the government systems the world over, then please head over to lawfulbank.com, get yourselves signed up, start talking to me on the forums and add me as a friend. Take care of yourselves, guys. Don't forget to stay free, think free and act free. And as always, I'll see you next time.